Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action, and I love how Tenowin's just like here with the Saurus, spreading the good word with his tablet and everything. Awesome stuff. Today we've got the Lizardmen going up against the Wood Elves, and right off the bat, big skirmish engagement happening up front. We've got a whole bunch of skink skirmishers facing off very cost effectively with a couple way watchers here. Chameleon skinks, looks like just one chameleon skink. We've got lots of Lizardmen cav here. Hopok's cohort here. We've also got Cold One Spear Riders, and yeah, Tenowin you saw there. We've got some solar engines as well. Lots of skinks scattered around, so a nice wide build. For the Wood Elves, the two Way Watchers. We've also got plenty of Wild Riders as well, some Dryads and War Dancers, so pretty heavy on the infantry, all sort of hidden in the woods here. Spellslinger Lore of Life as well, and a Glade lady up on a dragon. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Way Watchers just took an Earthblood there, helping them to mitigate some of this fire, but this is already just great value for these skink boys here. Skink skirmishers definitely can generate some great value against the Wood Elves, and ooh man, the solar engines as well, of course, going to be generating some great value also. And we do have some Wild Riders here. They're gonna have to be careful. A lot of these low armor, high value units for the Wood Elves are going to be quite vulnerable here. That being said, a nice net and charge here by some Wild Riders. The Wild Riders might get caught out a little bit. Looks like they are the Lizards are following up with some more Cold One Spear Riders here. There could potentially be some missile support as well, so I'm not a huge fan of this engagement. Those Wild Riders definitely taking the south end of things, doing some good damage initially to that expensive Regiment of Renown, but still, looks like they're going to take a regrowth while they're routing. Probably will come back from routing, hopefully. But yeah, this Lizard Cav is going to be a lot to deal with. The War Dancers coming forward here. These are just a sword variant, so they're not going to be great here, but holy cow, that solar engine shot right past the camera. Doing a great job seeing off those Way Watchers, which is obviously one of the #1 threats to the solar engines. So yeah, these Wild Riders sort of getting screened out in the back line here as some of the infantry starts to come forward. These skinks are going to get absolutely cut to ribbons. Looks like they try and turn tail and, you know, tactically withdraw there. But the War Dancers are going to be hot on their tails. So, yeah, we'll see. Over here, looks like Tenowin, so far, just kind of chilling out in the open. Not really too worried. The Pahawk Sentinels are also here. They've been dropping some rocks. I actually don't know if they dropped their rocks yet. We'll see. Nope, looks like they have not. But coming over here, getting some good missile fire. They can definitely do some okay damage against some of these lighter armor units. And the solar engines do fire damage, so they can actually fire at the Dryads and do okay also. But just obviously, generally the infantry engagement is going to go in favor of the Wood Elves, except in a situation like this where the Cold Ones can catch out the War Dancers. They can definitely get an advantageous situation there. Meanwhile, over on this side, this is more what you would expect with the skinks, is them to just get cut to ribbons by War Dancers. But yeah, so far, one thing to note about the Glade Lord, taking some damage. They do only have 50 armor up on the dragon, so even these non-armor piercing skinks can do some really effective damage if given enough time. Looks like a unit of horned ones here as well. I didn't notice these guys, but they've been juiced up with a Pan's Pelt here. Very heavy cav unit. And they should be able to do some really good work here against the Wood Elves due to the lack of anti-large. Interesting to not see any anti-large here against the Lizardmen, whether that be Eternal Guards or War Dancers. I guess he was mostly just relying on the missiles and the dragon to do the anti-large work. But yeah, looks like over here, these Wild Riders are trading okay against the Cold One Spear Riders, but it's honestly not the best trade in the world, just because the Cold One Spear Riders have good armor. They have, you know, good armor piercing. I guess that doesn't really matter here. It's just high total weapon strength plus anti-large. But, yeah, cohort's going to get in here, finish off this unit of Way Watchers. The other one's getting chased off by a unit of skinks, which is, again, super cost-effective. Keep those guys screened out. You can see the Gladies going over to try and bail them out, hopefully drop some terror, you know, do some various things to try and get those Way Watchers back online. But she is being pursued by those Pahawk Sentinels, just continuously poking away at her. Looks like she has been receiving some healing, but let's go ahead and check the healing cap space. Looks like only about 1,000 HP worth of cap space left. So we'll see how that does, but the solar engines have also used up most of their ammo as well. The The solar engines I actually might use to start shooting at the Glady personally. They do magic damage, so they will cut through the physical resistance that the Forest Dragon has. And of course, the non-armor piercing missile damage doesn't matter as much against the non-armored dragon. So this is also a pretty good pick, though, going after these Wild Riders, making sure their stats stay debuffed, and they just generally, you know, can't get in and get on these skirmishers, which are definitely going to be pretty key in the late game as well. Looks like these War Dancers here getting the extra melee defense, trying to help them hold out. They're up to 61 melee defense against those horned ones, but probably a little bit of a lost cause here. Looks like Tehenowin's going to get in here, start to cut up some of these War Dancers as well. And yeah, those Wild Riders taking some shots from the Bastillodon. If we take kind of an overarching look, though, things are pretty even still, mostly because the Glady is so healthy, but she's going to be able to terrify away and chase off some of these troops. A handful of War Dancers Way Watchers, that is, managed to survive that engagement. So yeah, the War Dancers, though, not so much. They're getting cut up now at this point by those horned ones, as to be expected, especially with missile support. And yeah, over here we've got some more Wild Riders coming back from route, getting chased around by some very slow Cold One Spear Riders, and these skirmishers have used up all their ammo, so it's just fine for them to probably take that charge. Maybe not. They are going to try and retreat there, but yeah. We're going to fast forward a little bit through this late game as both these guys kind of reform their forces here. And we'll get back to it. You can see the Pahawk Sentinels out of ammo at this point. The horned ones are going to get prey of Anathramad, and that means the Way Watchers will probably be firing at them, I would imagine. They are one of the highest threat units left, of course, along with Tehenowin. Tehenowin himself might get sniped here. You might just see them turn and try and snipe him out. But yeah, looks like he's going to throw down upgraded Pants Pelt. There probably wasn't a reason to overcast that necessarily, because the overcast on that just adds an area of effect. And there was only the one unit there, but still, the physical resistance and speed certainly will help. Looks like the Dragon's going to come, try and go after Tehenowin here. Does get some really good melee attacks. That is going to shift the balance of power back towards the Lizardmen quite heavily. The Horned Ones are going to try and support here, but the few Way Watchers that remain are able to provide effective Overwatch fire. And with Tehenowin not able to really support, looks like they're going to get terrified away. He's going to get terrified away, and it's just a bad situation overall. We do have some skinks coming through trying to support, but yeah, Tehenowin just gets steel-chaired, just absolutely stepped on by the Dragon. Not the best, but we do have the Solar Engine still out of ammo, but still here, and the other Solar Engine does still have some ammo as well, so let's see. Looks like these Way Watchers are probably going to get cornered here at the edge of the map. Pahawk Sentinels even charging down to get on top of them, so yeah. Rough life to be a Way Watcher this day, but they have managed to do some very effective damage. The Glady still has some ammo left as well. She can poke away at various units, but it's going to be a very, very close finish. You can see the balance power still pretty much completely even, and yeah. The Way Watchers continuing to get chased here. We do have some Horned Ones coming back from route. They can probably come back and get some good armor-piercing damage against the Dragon, potentially. Dryads also have 60 armor, so the armor-piercing does help somewhat there. But, ooh, looks like Dragon was going to do a breath attack, but decided against it. But, yeah, the Dragon's going to come in and try and get a good charge here. Probably will terrify away those Pahawk Sentinels. They are pretty squishy units overall. But, yeah, the Cold One Spear Riders here doing an okay job. Looks like more healing being dumped into the Glady here. It's going to be probably one more regrowth. That most likely will put her up to her healing cap. But, yeah, the Solar Engine just continuing to poke away at those Way Watchers. And this is brutal. They're just going to get sandwiched between these Cold Ones. Or the Horned Ones, rather. And the Skinks. Dragon comes in to try and bail them out, but it's not going to quite be enough, but the Bastillodon is here to drop some terror for the Lizardmen as well. Now that it's used up all its ammo, it's going to be more of a melee monster, which is just fine. Looks like maybe a Dragon Breath attack going down now. Nope. Still decided against it. But yeah, those Wild Riders coming back from route, taking a couple shots from the Bastillodon. Last few shots there. We'll see, though. Things are not looking great for the Lizardmen. This Dragon, honestly, if it cycle charges effectively, could probably take down the Bastillodon here. There are still quite a few Cold One Spear Riders, but certainly easier said than done. A good breath attack could probably take out most of these guys. Looks like the dragon is going to come down to the ground, get a good rear charge here, a good, nice sweep attack, and cut through quite a few of those Cold One Spear Riders. The horned ones, the other Cold One Spear Riders also go into a bit of a frenzy here. But the Bastillodon's able to push through, get a couple of attacks here. You know, it doesn't have the most weapon strength in the world, but it can do a little bit of damage here and there. It's going to pretty much be up to the Bastillodons, though, because everything else is routing off this point. So we're going to fast forward just a little bit as the Bastillodons start to make their way over here. You can see just the one is having a hard time. But once the second one comes in here, it can kind of get some attacks in the side and rear. And once they start to stagger lock the Glade Lord, it's going to be a pretty tough situation. Thankfully, this one is looking like it's going to stabilize its leadership. He definitely needs both of them to be able to take down this dragon, because again, you get one attacking from one side, one attacking from the other side. Looks like the Spellsinger Lore of Life is coming back, so he's going to have to be careful of that as well. Goes ahead and just charges straight in, gets a good attack there. She doesn't have very much melee defense, so it doesn't take much to take her down. But yeah, the Cold One Spear Riders still hanging around a little bit. Breath Attack honestly didn't do too much damage, but yeah, this side charge probably will be pretty effective, and you can see how he's just kind of hanging around here with the other Bastillodon to try and get like a side or rear charge when he comes in, and that's exactly what happens here. The dragon does get staggered a couple times, and with nothing else, the Wood Elf player deciding to just turn and fight at this point, doesn't want to try and cycle charge overly aggressively, and that is what it would take to win. But I don't know if this was exactly a tournament or if it was just a friendly between two good players, but it was A-Move Hacker playing as the Lizardmen and Loopy playing as the Wood Elves, and it is absolutely down to the wire at this point. I mean, a few good melee attacks from the Glade Lord on, you know, one or the other of these Bastillodons. If you could route either or both of them off, you know, obviously it would be a win. But it's certainly easier said than done with the two Bastillodons just continuously poking. It's definitely a little bit tough. There are some other rallied Lizardmen troops here as well, just screening out this Spellsinger, preventing her from coming in and getting like a rear charge on one of these Bastillodons, which would definitely help. But yeah, excuse me. You can see the Bastillodons just working their magic here, so we're going to continue to fast forward as they kind of do their battering ram thing. And the other Lizardmen troops do get chased off here a little bit. The Spellsinger's going to chase off some more skinks. But yeah, the Glady's having a hard time with the Bastillodons. The fact that there's two of them left is a big problem. Spellsinger finally gets finished off, and you can see now Bastillodon on each side. He does manage, she does rather, to manage to rout off one Bastillodon. The other one, though, is probably going to be too much. Still has a lot of HP, 4,800 HP, almost completely full. And that will be more than the Glady can handle. So very close finish. Super well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. It's always nice to see the Lizardmen take a fight against the Wood Elves. Used to be a pretty tough matchup for them, but I do feel some of their new tools help quite a bit in this matchup. The fact that they did buff the accuracy on solar engines just a hair also helps quite a bit as well. We'll have a look at the end screen here. 120 kills on those horned ones and an XP chevron. Considering how low model count this Wood Elf army is, that kill total is quite impressive. Likewise, this 76 kills and an XP chevron, 42 and an XP chevron here. Both these solar engines absolutely paid for themselves. I really like that pick here. As long as your opponent doesn't overly spam Way Watchers, you can kind of protect these guys. And because he was playing forward with his skink line and he had lots of cavalry as well, I mean, it was a really nice build from the Lizardmen overall. I like it quite a bit. Yeah, the horned ones rampaging through. Pawhawk Sentinels, likewise, are a bit risky, but they did okay here. Tehenowin himself kind of got gooned out a little bit there, but I really like the magic support, especially the physical resistance and speed. It definitely helps the Cold One Cav be able to get to the expensive skirmishers and get on top of them a little bit better. Wild Riders, some of them did okay, but they were kind of thrown into some tough situations. The Way Watchers, obviously a bright spot, did some good work despite kind of getting blown up a little bit early on. And the Dragon, 101 kills on that Glady on the Dragon. War Dancers did pretty well also, but yeah, Dragon definitely did some heavy lifting, especially against the Cold Ones, which is pretty good, all things considered. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.